state has been found and returned to the center. The State Commissioner of Information, Funke Gbemode, confirmed this on Saturday afternoon. Earlier in the day, the Commissioner had announced that 127 returnees from Côte d'Ivoire were received about a week ago and kept in isolation to avoid community transfer of the virus. But according to her, by Saturday morning, when the head count was done, one person could not be accounted for by officials stationed at the isolation center, debunking earlier reports that 6 persons had gone missing. Osun State currently has 22 cases of the coronavirus, making it the state with the third highest number of infections in the country after Lagos and Abuja, which have 108 and 44 cases respectively. And the federal government, through the Ministry of Finance on Saturday, reached out to the National Assembly to intimate it with an executive proposal to establish a 500 billion naira COVID-19 crisis intervention fund. The Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, led the federal government's team to meet with the Senate President Ahmed Lawan and Speaker of the House of Representatives Femi Gbajabamila to work out the modalities. According to a release from the office of the Senate President, the Finance Minister, along with senior officials from the ministry, held the meeting at the National Assembly. The meeting was also attended by the Deputy Senate President Oviomo Agege, Deputy Speaker Idris Wase, and some other principal officers from both chambers. The meeting was a follow-up to one held last week Wednesday between the National Assembly leadership and members of the Presidential Committee, which was set up for the management of the COVID-19 crisis. The minister told the lawmakers that the fund, if approved, would take care of special public work programs currently being implemented by the National Directorate for Employment. In his remarks, the Senate President said the meeting was in fulfillment of an earlier promise to provide support as the need arises in this time of crisis. And the House of Representatives is to consider a fresh stimulus bill that will ensure that Nigerians get free electricity supply for 2 months to mitigate the effect of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Speaker of the Green Chambers, Femi Gbajabamila, spoke at the National Assembly on Saturday morning during a meeting between the National Assembly leadership and the Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed, the Director General of the Budget Office of the Federation, Ben Akabueze, amongst others. The Speaker said the proposed bill is to help in boosting the economy through the informal sector of the country. I beg your pardon? The Speaker said the proposed bill is to help in boosting the economy through the informal sector as the country prepares for the aftermath of coronavirus. The proposed bill, which will be the second stimulus bill by the Green Chamber, is to be considered immediately the House reconvenes from its ongoing break declared due to the pandemic. It has, however, been agreed by the leadership of the National Assembly that the resumption date initially slated for April the 7th will be extended by 1 week in compliance with government's 2-week stay-at-home policy. And following the disruption of economic activities by the coronavirus pandemic, the Edo State government will on Monday, April 6, 2020, begin statewide broadcasts targeted at students in senior secondary schools preparing for the West African Senior Secondary School Examination and National Examination Council. In a statement, Commissioner for Education, Barrister Jimo Ijegbai, said the classes will be televised every day from 12 noon to 1 p.m. on the state's-owned television station, Edo Broadcasting Service, EBS. The Commissioner said the move is part of the state government's efforts to curtail the spread of coronavirus ravaging the country. According to the Commissioner, the students will be taught mathematics on Monday and English on Tuesday, while physics, biology, geography, civic, economics, and chemistry will be televised on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, respectively. He further urged parents and guardians to draw the attention of their children and wards to the opportunity during the stay-at-home period. And the Delta State government says the stay-at-home directive was not intended to punish citizens of the state. Secretary to the state government, Chiedu Ebe, stated this on Saturday while the state task force on the enforcement of the directive was monitoring situation around Asaba, the state capital. He told newsmen and the local government council chairman across the state had been mandated to set up makeshift markets and primary schools within the communities to enable residents purchase food items. According to him, the state government is not trying to punish anybody or step on anybody's rights. And KUFM News Dawn continues right after this break. Do stay with us.
Ona age na ya tabo ma koyo ona ne coronavirus na wa gbele bu na ege no keke na ya ga lue ebe na ya ye gbo wa ne botie toilet roll ra upon ne kere na ye mo bo ne botie akati ya gunu kebiwe wa ga tolu nwe ege no keke na ya ga gbobo ege ya kebe ave lu hand sanitizer aye na bi egbe na mo tolu nwe na san gege de kanwe ege na okeke na ga gba o ge gboma kebe otemi yoba no sikoma debu na ge ige egbewe me no we ra ọmọ nọsike we egeje gari owi si egbe nọsike we se o 13 le tie o laba na 08000267662 ra 08009700010 ni we de gbe tie 08000267662 ra 08009700010 ujirege enwe ayahin wagbon coronavirus emi na bege ba o KUFM 92.7 oyun na yawewe
And you're welcome back. The Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says the ongoing lockdown in the state might be extended beyond 14 days. He said this during a media briefing on Saturday. Sanwo-Olu explains the lockdown would be extended depending on the situation of things, adding that the number of patients discharged in Lagos had risen to 24. According to the reports, 109 of the 209 confirmed cases of coronavirus in Nigeria are recorded in Lagos. The governor, however, assured residents that palliatives would be provided. He announced that it would be offering free medical services to pregnant women and other persons with health emergencies in the state. The governor said this is part of palliative measures to cushion the effect of the lockdown imposed to fight the spread of COVID-19. According to him, the development is an additional measure to complement the welfare food stimulus package already in place in the state. Meanwhile, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says the state government has arrested over 400 vehicles for flouting the lockdown order. Sanwo-Olu reviewed this on Saturday during a live update to residents of the state on steps taken by his administration to contain the COVID-19. According to the governor, the state government will not relent in arresting commuters who may want to flout the lockdown policy. While vowing to arrest more culprits for disobeying government's directive on the restriction of movement, Sanwo-Olu explained that security agencies have been asked to make more arrests. And Governor of Ekiti State, Kayode Fayemi, has set up a 47-member panel of eminent citizens of the state, including 3 former governors, to help mobilize resources to combat the COVID-19 pandemic. The panel, which is officially known as Ekiti State COVID-19 Response Resource Mobilization Committee, has the former Minister of Health, Prince Julius Adelusi Adeluyi, as chairman, the founder and chancellor of Afe Babalola University Ado-Ekiti, Are Afe Babalola, will serve as grand patron, while 3 former governors of the state were named as patrons. The 3 former governors to serve as patrons are Otumbani Adebayo, Chief Segun Oni, and Chief Ayodele Fayose. And the Ekiti State government on Saturday said it has commenced fumigation of public places across the state as part of efforts to contain the spread of the coronavirus pandemic in the state. The Commissioner for Environment, Benga Agbeyo, who made this disclosure while addressing journalists in Ado-Ekiti, said the exercise became imperative to prevent residents of the state from contracting the disease. And And the Armed Forces of Nigeria, through the Air Task Force of Operation Lafia Dole and artillery batteries of Section 3 of the Multinational Joint Task Force, has destroyed an Islamic State of West African province camp in Tumbon, Fulani, on the fringes of Lake Chad in northern Borno State. This was disclosed in a statement signed by the Acting Director, Defense Media Operations, Defense Headquarters, Brigadier General Bernard Onyoku. According to the statement, this was achieved in a combined air and artillery bombardment conducted on April the 3rd, 2020, as part of the coordinated joint offensive by the task force to dislodge and completely rid the island of Lake Chad of terrorist presence and activities. The statement further explains that the operation was executed on the heels of credible intelligence reports indicating that the ISWAP elements with their structures concealed under the dense vegetation of the area used the settlement as a base for where they plan and launch attacks. And the Court of Appeal sitting in Benin City has dismissed the judgment of Edo State High Court, which sentenced one Precious Ehuhia to death for armed robbery. The Court of Appeal, after listening to the legal submission put forward by Laiwola Afolabi Esquire, leading EC Abednego, held that the lower court was wrong to have convicted Precious Ehuhia for armed robbery. The court thereafter set aside the entire judgment of the Edo State High Court on 30th of October 2017. It also ruled that the judgment brought by the respondent counsel has no merit.
Well, we thank God, we lost at the High Court, where the court sentenced Precious Ehuhia to death for armed robbery. I would believe there's no evidence against him. And in our usual characteristic manner of not settling down at the High Court, we proceeded to the Court of Appeal, and we're very grateful. The Court of Appeal, after listening to our argument, found as a fact that Precious Ehuhia ought not to be convicted at all for armed robbery. Now he's free now.
And coming up in a moment on Extra Voices, Edo residents defy social distance order to collect palliative amidst coronavirus scare.
In the ever-revolving world of news, one story becomes extinct the moment another major story breaks.
Market women don't know whether they be anything.
But with KUFM's Extra Voices, the story never dies. It just takes on a new life.
Market meho. There is no water in the house. The toilet is not good.
We don't have any fashion in APC.
We bring you new angles and fresh perspectives to every story, no matter how old or remote.
There are a lot of educated people that are involved in politics nowadays.
We go a little beyond the surface to get you those extra details ignored in the rush for the news.
Now bridge, now we take the entire.
Some don't die for inside.
We go beyond the lines to bring extra voices, not just for those making the stories.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
But for those affected by the stories.
I've lost one bag of rice, documents.
So it's a real disaster.
With Extra Voices, we add new flavor to give fresh perspective and taste to an old story. Extra Voices airs every Wednesday and weekends on KUFM's major news bulletins.
And the declaration by some council authorities in Edo State inviting residents to some designated areas for collation of their names and account details seem to be causing confusion, as Edo State government has denied giving such directive. In this edition of Extra Voices, Nosahai Wadiai captured how hundreds of residents converged at Unwode Health Center, Enyai, and other locations in Benin against the social distancing order. Hoodlums took advantage of the situation and collected 50 naira and 100 naira in some places for each resident to document them.
For days, residents of Enyai and environs gathered at Unwode Local Government Health Center, Enyai, where names and account details were being collated by faceless individuals. The gathering obviously defied the social distancing order. It was like a maker of salt in a bid to partake in what they called national cake. The situation caused pandemonium as many struggled to be enlisted.
Three people for wedding. Right down, mama. Carry 3 people, carry 10 people, correct.
Worse still, some hoodlums took advantage of the process to swindle 15 naira from residents who were desperate to be enlisted.
Now there's no pay 50 naira. Maybe they go type the paper come out. Now we don't give them 15 naira. We don't write.
No matter we won't collect money. Our national money, government is sharing. Your name and your account.
So I give you my name
with 15 naira. We say we don't want is and we go to photo start.
They were told to collect their names and account details in order to be paid the sum of 10,000 naira by government.
One politician, more than a politician, he may not know his name. He come here, say make we write, make we type him. When they type and finish, phone number. Come to me, they call him, they don't type and finish, say they will come collect the paper. And make us there.
I come because of the money why I hear say they want share, because I don't lock my shop now, no food.
I hear say maybe bring account number. Government want help we poor women. So now I'm
no, don't they send the money to the account?
No, just now. No, they listen to your news.
Some of the residents also erroneously believed they would be paid from financial contributions made by some prominent Nigerians to fight COVID-19.
So what you don't hear so far so good? They say Atiku face. Who again? 1 millionaire, something like that again. Say then bring the money come.
Upon arrival of Extra Voices School, some staff of the local government council health center swiftly made efforts to disperse the crowd, but it was fruitless.
So, when they come, when I come out for here, police they call the people of if you know, say you don't get anything with head, leave here now. Police is coming to pick one of you. For those of you don't pay 15 naira, can't have one of you there now. 15 naira times 200. How much? I don't give her money. Nobody send them.
However, in a telephone chat, chairman of the local government council, Honorable Napoleon Agbaman, said the state government has instructed them to compile names and account details of residents in the locality.
It's a state government policy, not only in one, there is across the state to write their names and account number. But here we have said that every state head should take charge. I think here now, if we need as about this of my area, let every state head take it, write it and come and submit to us. Not everybody job a cluster.
Agbaman also informed Extra Voices that residents are also writing their account details in other areas other than the local government council. But he, however, clarified that they were not told to converge at the local government health center.
If you go to New Benin, every other area across the state, everybody is right. I don't know why they are not taking to instruction. Go there and write your name down in your head. Computer instruction give it to them. This is on Friday.
Why are the residents asked to undergo this tedious process to document their details?
That is question I cannot answer. You can only take that to the state government house. This is directive for us, and we must do it the way they direct us. If they say that stop, they will still stop.
The chairman of Nigerian Labour Congress in Edo State, Sonny Osayende, and secretary of the union, Barry Osaro Imade, who frowned at the collation of names in certain areas, appealed to the state government to come out with a program that will have impact on Edo people.
It's a very wrong approach, because the government of Edo State and local government has the names and banks of all the workers in the state. If you are going to give a stipend, use your BVN to make sure, particularly those that are working and those retired, the way you are paying them, pay them the stipends and call it coronavirus party gift.
But Edo State has denied knowledge of such activity. Deputy Governor and chairman of the COVID-19 Response Committee, Comrade Philip Shaibu, said state government never gave such directive.
I've gotten texts and I've gotten some calls over some persons going around to say they want to collect any account or whatever. The state government is not part of it, and we have discouraged gathering of people, and that is still on. It has not been lifted.
He asked the security agencies to swing into action to enforce total compliance to the social distancing order and ensure that no such gathering happens again.
Nobody should have any gathering more than 20, and social distance must be maintained.
Though the state government has announced plans to activate a stimulus package to help the vulnerable cushion economic effect of the lockdown, but it is not clear yet how such package package will be distributed as the government is yet to come up with the modalities. For KUFM's Extra Voices, I am Nusahai Wadiai.
And coming up in a moment, Funke Akindele's husband, JJC Skills, celebrated his birthday yesterday amidst pomp and ceremony.
KUFM News around the world.
The time is 3 p.m. Good afternoon and welcome to News Africana on KU 92.7 FM Benin City. First, the headlines. South Sudan confirms first case of coronavirus. Malawi president take 10% pay cut over coronavirus. Rwanda soldiers accused of raping women during lockdown. Details of these and more after this break. I am Esther Mohammed. Now to the news in detail. South Sudan has confirmed its first case of COVID-19. Vice President of the country, Riek Machar, said on Sunday, it is the latest African nation to report a case of the disease caused by the new coronavirus. Machar said a 29-year-old patient arrived in the country from Ethiopia on February 28 and that she was being treated in isolation. Experts have warned that the consequences could be dire if the virus spread rapidly in South Sudan, which has extremely limited health facilities. More than 1 million people are still displaced from their homes, following a 6-year civil war that killed around 400,000 people. Last month, ministers were finally appointed to a unity government after the former rebel leader Riek Machar and President Salva Kiir signed a peace deal. And now to Malawi, where Malawi's president and all government ministers are taking a 10% wage cut for 3 months to raise money to tackle the coronavirus outbreak. President Peter Mutharika made the announcement as he set out a stimulus package to help cushion the economic impact of the disease. Malawi reported its first cases of the coronavirus on Thursday, one of the last countries to do so. The country among the worst poorest has declared a state of emergency. There is no lockdown, but schools are closed, and the government says it is urging people to work from home and follow hand washing and social distancing guidelines. All social gatherings of more than 100 people, such as funerals, church services, and political rallies, have been banned. Mutharika earns about $3,600 a month, but no figure was given for how much would be raised by the pay cut for all ministers. As part of the stimulus package, the president announced a series of tax breaks for businesses, a reduction in fuel prices, and an increase in risk allowances for health workers. He also said that an extra 2,000 health workers would be recruited. 5 Rwandan soldiers have been arrested after residents of a slum in the capital, Kigali, alleged that they raped women as they enforced a nationwide lockdown to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Residents of a town have been telling the military prosecution officer that the soldiers also beat up male residents and stole from them. One of the victims told journalists that on 26 March, an armed soldier forced his way into their home and beat up her husband. When she intervened, the soldier raped her. The government imposed a nationwide lockdown to control the spread of COVID-19, but residents have complained about brutality meted out by security officers. Last week, 2 men were shot dead after they were caught walking outside. Rwanda has confirmed 84 cases of COVID-19. Senegal has cancelled giant celebrations to mark its 60th anniversary of independence from France because of coronavirus. The West African nation has 140 active cases of COVID-19. 66 people have recovered and 1 person has died over the last month. It has become one of the countries in Africa leading the fight against coronavirus. As well as declaring a state of emergency, closing its land, air and sea borders to all but essential goods traffic and banning public gatherings, it has focused on tracking potential infections. Anyone who has been in contact with an infected person has been put up in an hotel and quarantined for 14 days. And now to Kenya, where the authorities in Kenya have arrested a senior government official for refusing to follow quarantine rules after returning to the country from Germany, a country which already has thousands of confirmed cases last month. Gideon Saburi, the deputy governor of Coastal Kilifi County, who later tested positive for COVID-19, was forcefully put in isolation for 14 days. He has now fully recovered. More than 100 people were quarantined when Saburi tested positive. He is expected to be charged with endangering lives. Meanwhile, the health ministry has reported 12 new confirmed cases of coronavirus, bringing the total to 122. A 6-year-old boy who had pre-existing health conditions died from virus complications, bringing the number of people who have surrendered to COVID-19 to 5. And that's the news. Before we go, a quick recap of the headlines. South Sudan confirms first case of coronavirus. Malawi president take 10% pay cut over coronavirus. Rwanda soldiers accused of raping women during lockdown. Do remember that the continued unity of Nigeria is a collective responsibility. Be sure to play your part. Meanwhile, coronavirus is real. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water. Stay indoors. Stay safe. KUFM's News Africana was produced by Nosa Hari Uwadiai. I am Esther Mohammed saying thanks for listening. Good afternoon.
We are live from Benin City to the world.
This is 92.7 KUFM Newsbreak.
The time is 5 p.m. Good evening. Welcome to Newsbreak on KU 92.7 FM Benin City. First, the headlines. Nigeria records 10 new cases of COVID-19, 1 new death recorded. UBTH confirms 3 cases of COVID-19, 1 death as 25 doctors go into isolation. On Extra Voices, Edo residents defy social distance order to collect palliative amidst coronavirus care. On entertainment, Funke Akindele and JJC under fire for hosting house party amid coronavirus lockdown. And in sports, Super Eagles and Benin AFCON qualifier postponed indefinitely. Details of these and more after this break. I am Esther Mohammed. Now the news in detail. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has confirmed 10 new cases of COVID-19, bringing the total number of cases in the country to 224. Of the 10 new cases, 6 are in Lagos, 2 are in Edo, while the other 2 are in the FCT. Currently, 5 persons have died from the disease, while 27 others have recovered so far and have been discharged. As at 11:15 a.m. 5th April, there are 224 confirmed cases, 27 discharged, 5 deaths. For a breakdown of cases by states, Lagos 115, FCT 45, Osun State 20, Oyo 9, Akwa Ibom 5, Ogun 4, Edo 9, Kaduna 4, Bauchi 6, Enugu 2, Ekiti 2, Rivers 1, Benue 1, and Ondo 1. The authorities of University of Benin Teaching Hospital UBTH have revealed that one of the 3 patients who was confirmed to have tested positive for COVID-19 has died. The Chief Medical Director of UBTH, Professor Darlington Obaseki, disclosed this in a statement issued on Sunday in Benin City. He said the 2 surviving patients are currently being cared for by staff of the hospital in an isolation ward with restricted access. The CMD explained that all the members of staff who were exposed to the patients are isolated and they are being monitored closely according to the current guidelines. Obaseki lamented that healthcare workers are on the front line during this pandemic and are therefore at higher risk of being exposed than the general public. Meanwhile, the Association of Resident Doctors UBTH chapter in a statement said that 25 medical doctors who had contact with the patient had gone on mandatory self-isolation. The association said that the 13 of the 25 doctors were house officers, while about 12 were resident doctors. The doctors, however, expressed displeasure with the hospital's management over what it described as poor handling of coronavirus in the hospital. Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project SIRAP has asked the federal government and Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) to provide spending details of public funds and private sector donations to provide socio-economic benefit to the country's poorest and most vulnerable people. The group also demanded for details of beneficiaries of any cash payment, cash transfers, food distribution, and other benefits during the lockdown in Abuja, Lagos, and Ogun State because of COVID-19. SIRAP also asked the federal government and CBN to disclose information on the details of the implementation of the school feeding program during the lockdown and closure of schools in several states where the program is being implemented, including the number of children that have so far benefited from the program and the names of the communities since the lockdown and closures of schools, as well as the number of cooks engaged. In a Freedom of Information FOI request dated 14th April 2020 and signed by SIRAP Deputy Director Kolawole Oluwadare, was sent to the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disasters Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk, and CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele. The rights group expressed serious concern that millions of the country's poorest and most vulnerable people have not benefited from the announced palliatives, donations, reported cash payment, cash transfers, and other benefits. It said providing the information would help to address the concerns by many Nigerians regarding allegations of corruption and politicization in the distribution of benefits, improve public trust, and enhance the integrity of the entire processes and modes of distribution of reliefs to the concerned Nigerians. A police officer identified as Sergeant Edidiong Alexander attached to Safer Highway has lost his rank for violating the rights of one Mr. Daniel David Idet, working at the University of Uyo Teaching Hospital, UUTH, while on duty. According to a statement signed by Police Public Relations Officer CSP Frederick Unanda, made available to newsmen Saturday night, the erring police officer was reduced to a corporal after being subjected to orderly room trial in line with the Police Act and regulations. KUFM's news break continues right after this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back to the news, and now for some Edo State stories. The Court of Appeal sitting in Benin City has dismissed the judgment of Edo State High Court, which sentenced one Precious to death for armed robbery. The Court of Appeal, after listening to the legal submission put forward by Olayiwale Afolabi, leading EC Abdonego, held that the lower court was wrong to have convicted Precious for armed robbery. The court thereafter set aside the entire judgment of the Edo State High Court on 30th day of October 2017. It also ruled that the judgment brought by the respondent counsel has no merits.
Well, we thank God. We lost at the High Court, where the court sentenced Precious Egona to death for armed robbery. And we believe there's no evidence against him. And in our usual characteristic manner of not settling down at the High Court, we proceeded to the Court of Appeal, and we're very grateful. The Court of Appeal, after listening to our argument, found as a fact that Precious Egona ought not to be convicted at all for armed robbery. Now he's free now.
Coming up next in a moment on Extra Voices, Edo residents defy social distance order to collect palliative amidst coronavirus care.
Evolving world of news, one story becomes extinct the moment another major story breaks.
Market women don't know whether they be anything.
But with KUFM's Extra Voices, the story never dies. It just takes on a new life.
Market meho.
There is no water in the house. The toilet is not good.
We don't have any fashion in APC.
We bring you new angles and fresh perspectives to every story, no matter how old or remote.
There are a lot of educated people that are involved in politics nowadays.
We go a little beyond the surface to get you those extra details ignored in the rush for the news.
Now bridge, now we take the entire.
Some don't die for inside.
We go beyond the lines to bring extra voices, not just for those making the stories.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
But for those affected by the stories.
I've lost one bag of rice. Documents.
So it's a real disaster.
With Extra Voices, we add new flavor to give fresh perspective and taste to an old story. Extra Voices airs every Wednesday and weekends on KUFM's major news bulletins.
The declaration by some council authorities in Edo State inviting residents to some designated areas for collation of their names and account details seems to be causing confusion, as Edo State government has denied giving such directive. In this edition of Extra Voices, Nosa Hari Wajai captured how hundreds of residents converge at Onwode Health Center, Enyai, and other locations in Benin City against the social distancing order. Hoodlums took advantage of the situation and collected 50 naira and 100 naira in some places for each resident to document them.
For days, residents of Enyai and environs gathered at Uwonde Local Government Health Center, Enyai, where names and account details were being collected by faceless individuals. The gathering obviously defied the social distancing order. It was like a maker of salt in a bid to partake in what they called national cake. The situation caused pandemonium as many struggled to be enlisted.
Three people for wedding. Right there, mama. Carry 3 people, carry 10 people, go right.
Worse still, some hoodlums took advantage of the process to swindle 15 naira from residents who were desperate to be enlisted.
Now the small will pay 50 naira. Maybe they go type the paper, come out. Now we don't give them 50 naira. We don't write.
No matter never we won't collect money. Our national money, government is sharing. Your name and your account.
So I think you my name
with 15 naira. We say we not one is and one goes at the photo start.
They were told to collect their names and account details in order to be paid the sum of 10,000 naira by government.
One politician, more than a politician, he me no know his name. He come here, say make we write, make we type am. When they type and finish, phone number. Come to me, they call him, they don't type and finish, say they will come collect the paper. And make us the yes.
I come because of the money why I hear say they want share, because I don't lock my shop now, no food.
I hear say make them bring account number. Government want help we poor women. So now I'm back.
No, who they send the money to the account?
Hello, yes, now. You know they listen to your news.
Some of the residents also erroneously believed they would be paid from financial contributions made by some prominent Nigerians to fight COVID-19.
So what you don't hear so far so good? They say Atiku face. Who again? 1 millionaire, something like that again. Since I bring the money come.
Upon arrival of Extra Voices School, some staff of the local government council health center swiftly made efforts to disperse the crowd, but it was fruitless.
So, police they come, when I come out for here, police they call the people. If you know, say you don't go do, you don't get anything with head. Leave here now. Police is coming to pick up you. But those of you don't pay 15 naira. Can't have one of you there now. 15 naira times 200. How much? I don't give her money. Nobody send them. Una here?
However, in a telephone chat, chairman of the local government council, Honorable Napoleon Agbaman, said the state government has instructed them to compile names and account details of residents in the locality.
It's a state government policy. Not only in one, there is across the state to write their names and account number. But here we have said that every state head should take charge. I think here now, if when you know, as about this of my area, let every state head take it, write it and come and submit it. Not everybody job are closer.
Agbama also informed Extra Voices that residents are also writing their account details in other areas other than the local government council, but he however clarified that they were not told to converge at the local government health center.
If you go to New Benin, every other area across the state, everybody is. I don't know why they are not taking to instruction. Go there and write your name down in your computer. Instruction give it to them. This is on Friday.
Why are the residents asked to undergo this tedious process to document their details?
That is question I cannot answer. You can only take that to the state government house. This is directive for us, and we must do it the way they direct us. If they say that stop, they will still stop.
The chairman of Nigerian Labour Congress in Edo State, Sonny Osayende, and secretary of the union, Barry Osaro Imade, who frowned at the collation of names in certain areas, appealed to the state government to come out with a program that will have impact on Edo people.
It's a very wrong approach, because the government of Edo State and local government has the names and banks of all the workers in the state. If you are going to give a stipend, use your BVN to make sure, particularly those that are working and those retired, the way you are paying them, pay them the stipends and call it coronavirus party gift.
But Edo State has denied knowledge of such activity. Deputy Governor and chairman of the COVID-19 Response Committee, Comrade Philip Shaibu, said state government never gave such directive.
I've gotten texts and I've gotten some calls over some persons going around to say they want to collect any account or whatever. The state government is not part of it. And we have discouraged gathering of people, and that is still on. It has not been lifted.
He asked the security agencies to swing into action to enforce total compliance to the social distancing order and ensure that no such gathering happens again.
Nobody should have any gathering more than 20, and social distance must be maintained.
Though the state government has announced plans to activate a stimulus package to help the vulnerable, cushion economic effect of the lockdown, but it is not clear yet how such package will be distributed, as the government is yet to come up with the modalities. For KUFM's Extra Voices, I am Musahai Wadiai.
Coming up in a moment, Funke Akindele and JJC under fire for hosting house party amid coronavirus lockdown. Welcome back to the news. Glad to know you're out there listening. On entertainment this evening, in the early hours of today, Nollywood actress Funke Akindele Bello came under fire on social media after pictures from her husband JJC's birthday party surfaced on the internet. Funke Akindele Bello finally apologized after throwing a house party amid lockdown order. The mother of two has humbly admitted what she did was wrong, thereby apologizing to Nigerians who felt misled because she organized a gathering after preaching social distancing. In the video, the 42-year-old shared on her Instagram page She explained that she did not intend to mislead people, stating that the people present at the party are those that stays in her estate and not outsider, and no outsider was invited. And in sports this evening, the Super Eagles, who are to face Benin in the 2000, I'll take that again. And in sports this evening, the Super Eagles, who are to face Benin in the 2021 African Cup of Nations second leg qualifier, will have to wait for a new date to be decided following the announcement by the World Football Governing Body. All these on our sports decks coming up shortly. Football Governing Body has announced that scheduled matches for the next international break has been postponed indefinitely due to the outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic, which has disrupted all sporting activities. The Super Eagles, who are to face Benin in the 2021 African Cup of Nations second leg qualifier, will have to wait for a new date to be decided following the announcement by the World Football Governing Body. The team's double-header clash against Sierra Leone, earlier scheduled for March 27th in Asaba, Delta State, and the return leg at the Siaka Stevens Stadium in Freetown was postponed by CAF, also due to the pandemic. The FIFA Confederations Working Group, which was recently established by the Bureau of the FIFA Council to address the consequences of the COVID-19 pandemic, unanimously approved a series of recommendations following its first meeting, which was organized via conference call on Friday. FIFA released on their website the recommendations of the working group, which include the postponement of all matches in June. It said the committee recommended the postponement of all international matches due to be played during the upcoming June 2020 window. And finally, Wayne Rooney has criticized the government and the Premier League for placing footballers in a no-win situation over proposed pay cuts after players were urged to make sacrifices during the coronavirus crisis. The former England captain, now playing with Champions League side, that will be penned an unpassioned column in the Sunday Times saying his fellow professionals were easy targets in the wider response to the pandemic. It came after the Professional Footballers Association, PFA, said a proposed 30% pay cut could hurt the National Health Service because it would eat tax receipts. And that's the news. Before we go, a quick recap of the headlines. Nigerian records 10 new cases of COVID-19, 1 new death recorded. UBTH confirms 3 cases of COVID-19, 1 death, as 25 doctors go into isolation. And finally, on Extra Voices, Edo residents defy social distance order to collect palliative amidst coronavirus care. Do remember that the continued unity of Nigeria is a collective responsibility. Be sure to play your part. Meanwhile, coronavirus is real. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water. Stay indoors. Stay safe. KUFM News Break was produced by Nosa Hari Uwajai. I am Esther Mohammed saying thanks for listening. Good evening.
Budding talented musician and would love to have your musical works played on KU 92.7 FM, Benin City's more music variety station. We would love to hear from you. Please call 070-380-50243 for more information. That is 0.
Locally, we call them videographers or cameramen, sorry. Most times I don't like people calling cameramen or videographers. What they do, they are filmmakers. They shoot, they edit, and they tell stories. Like they give you content, visual stories, not still like motion stories. That's photographers, you know. They shoot, they edit, and deliver what you want. They keep memory for you.
Okay, so are you talking about like, you know, I want to do a wedding and somebody who comes and you know, videos.
That's why we have the cameraman.
Jim, what is wrong with you?
I don't know. I just responded.
he said they keep it, you know, alive for you. You know.
It's video now. When somebody comes to video.
No, you see, we have cameramen. Normally, we have cameramen and we have photographers. You know, we have to package. You know, you have to package everything to come out smoothly. Because if you are saying you come without, sorry to say, I don't know, you come without big balls, you know, you do a video for you, then you take it to home, you see, for you to be seeing your head, you are seeing your leg, you don't want to call the cameraman, but taking about the photographer, you bring out the uniqueness, like bring out everything concerning the video, tell the story from that video. Not just go video the wedding like, okay, fine, video the ring, everything. No, tell the story from the beginning, even in night or from the engagements. Tell the story, tell a good story.
Okay, so like what you do is you progressively build a story with both still and you know motion pictures. Now, Victor AD is no small. I mean, he's one of the very. So how did you get to become his official videographer, cinematographer?
Okay, we attended same school, Art Polytechnic. We met 2014, 2015. So he used to come to my house then. Then I was having this musical studio because I was the producer then. I love the line, I just slide off because no money now.
It's like you like us, I like this guy.
So sweet,
I like this guy.
Then he used to come to my house.
Okay, let me take this from the beginning so that people can hear you and understand. Now, if you're not okay with it, you don't have to tell me. Okay, how old are you? Okay, or you can say late 20s, early 30s, mid 50s, just
Late 20s.
All right, so you're late 20s.
Yeah.
Now, because I have to say that because of what Mr. Jim said. You see, you have a lot of young people who will sit at home and wait for things to be served them. Like, they expect manna, So
Why I was in Art Polytechnic? That was my second year of school. I learned how to produce music online though. I didn't go to any studio to learn. I learned online. Then I studied everything like the basics. Then I traveled to Lagos I traveled to Alaba in Lagos to get the little mic, sound card and keyboards I can produce. Yeah, I think 3K, 5K from artists like students. I earned 3K, 5K from there. At least I can pay my bills, my textbooks.
And this was what you were doing when you were in school.
Yeah, before the cinematographer thing, I was a producer then in school.
And you went now I'm picking interest in this. Now you bought the things yourself.
Yeah.
And then you started to run, like, do things for other students.
Yes. Like my room would be like the main guy's room on campus. Then in after thing. Yeah, maybe next reading after I do my thing in the afternoon. Like Monday afternoon, then we go to school, like go for ninth class, read, then we come again Monday afternoon. So that was how I met with AD. So he came to my house, we did a song together, then I used my phone, then I was in BlackBerry Q5. I was using Q5 then. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay. I was using Q5 then. Then when we did a song, I used my phone to do some video,
Yeah, go ahead.
I work on video, and you were like, this place is mad, they like the video, fine. We have to share video on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So that was how we became friends.
Okay, so you need to tell me this so I can understand. You did with your phone.
Yeah, with my phone. Yeah, sure.
You did a
video because he sang a song, All of Me, the Pidgin English version, like the Nigeria version, in my house. Then I used my phone to record the visuals, and I touched them, cut and edit, add some colors. It was nice. Just go on YouTube, just search for Victor AD, All of Me. You can see the video there. It's have like 100k views. So that's how we become
friends. That's nice. 100,000 views. That is okay. Now let's go back to starting small. Eventually, you said because the hustle was not really paid from the production part, or it was a passion thing, or
not?
What informed or dragged you into cinematography?
It was just the passion, It wasn't the hustle then that made me go into musical production.
Okay.
Because I love that, like
the act of music and working sound.
I love the act of music, working sound. Then going to cinematography and photography, I also had the passion because a friend of mine, like, he was going through the same process, like go for events, do other things. There was a time I went for a show and I was not allowed to go in, and I came with someone then, so they bounced me back. I was like, they bounced me, hey, go, why? And I was like, okay, fine, no problem. I think I have to do something. I will be, I will go for shows, but I won't pay for the shows. I'll go backstage, sit with artists.
But you have a clear access. All right.
Just free access. Sit with artists. As in, I want to be celeb with celebrities, not celeb with the normal regular guys.
Yeah.
So that was the idea, and thank God it's paying off right now.
I like the way you decided to go about it, and you see, that's the first point, or the second point to taking out of what he's shared so far, picking out positive lessons from every experience. Some persons, with what has motivated him to have gone this far, some persons would have even turned that into a fight.
Yeah.
And take it personal with the person that bounced him. Like, he would take it personal, like, you bounced me, I mark you.
I will see now.
Spirit man,
you pass my area now.
Eventually, the whole thing becomes something else. But you were able to gather all that, fine tune it, and now something very beautiful has come out of it. Now, I want to ask, a lot of young persons don't see. You see, I said hustle just now, and what we mean here with hustle is what you are doing right now.
Yes.
Okay. Trying to raise some money legitimately, pushing, going to this business, that business, investing here, investing there. What young people are calling hustle these days
it's very different. Like,
exactly.
It's annoying, seriously.
They don't know what hustle is. If you ask, like, somebody, like, you are hustling, you tell somebody, they're just like, okay, career, which types? We say, give me updates, give me boss, give me this one, give me that one, give me site. So everything has now been misconstrued, and I don't know. I want you to talk to young persons this evening, because the audience for young persons on this show is very large.
Okay.
Now, was it when you just went into musical production or cinematography that it started paying off immediately?
No. I did free jobs first, because I was trying to make that name. Okay, fine, Q Extra is into this, Q Extra. So most of them, they give like little penny, just take, to just sort yourself out, so you get that point. But definitely, from the beginning, it won't be easy. It won't be easy, trust me.
So when you were doing those free jobs, what was the purpose? I want people to understand what was the purpose for free jobs?
The purpose there was to get more experience. Get more experience, meet new people.
Okay. Hold that thought. Now, I need every young person, parents, if you have children that are, anywhere above 12, call them to sit around this program and let them listen, because Christopher is making a lot of sense on the show tonight. This is why I wanted him on the show. Okay, when you see somebody who's doing what you want people to know about, you bring them on and let them hear. Okay, this is a human, just like the scriptures will refer to Elijah and says Elijah was a man with like passion. Okay, this is a guy who I'm sure the pressure to make it big time and quick was there too. Okay, and why he chose this path and what has made him today the person he is, already with a clear vision where he's going to, what he wants to be. And young people need to see that there are other ways other than cheating and quick fixes and quick stuff. And that's why I need you to get all your children, okay? If you can, record the program. If you can't, you would want this program given to you, we can get it to you recorded.
Yes.
We can get this program to you recorded, okay? You can get in touch. I'll give the numbers later. You can get in touch with me and say, Dr. Nusa, I want that program recorded. I want to give it to my son. I want to give it to my daughter. It's not free of cost, but you can, of course, we're all trying to get the money into keeping the program alive. So,
a quick one.
Yes.
A quick one. You talked about now in the process of learning the curves and building capacity in both cinematography and music production
and photography.
Yeah, okay, and photography too. You didn't say I went to X and X school of cinematography. The London School of Cinematography, the New York School of Cinematography. You said something that some persons really may not have paid attention to YouTube. So tell us how much did you spend? Like how much was the tuition that you were paying? To learn.
I didn't pay any money. No tuition fee for YouTubers.
Okay.
Just have your data, your phone, your system, computer, to learn your video, cinematography, photography. Then I was having this particular guy online. I had to subscribe on this guy's channel.
Okay.
Anytime he drops a video, I run down there to view that content.
Okay.
So I was going every three days to learn more from the guy. Great content, how to cut, how to edit, how to create concept, because you have to create the concept first
in your head.
Yes, before doing anything. So that was the idea. I didn't pay any tuition fee under any.
So you mean the same data, or is it a different data that opens WhatsApp and Facebook? Is it the same data that you use on YouTube? Is it the same type of?
Yeah, it's same data, but the YouTube one, it definitely you can compare video data and pictures data.
Okay.
You get, but you need to consume more data than WhatsApp
because it's video content and it's high resolution.
It consume more data than WhatsApp.
So what we are trying to get the young people to understand is there are already information out there that they can access.
It's just that use the keyword, the right word to search what you're looking for. That's it.
I mean, the time that people spend looking at somebody else's life,
yes, that was it,
watching movies, following up this person, and all they are doing, they are on some entertainment channel.
Sorry to say, let me come in here. During this lockdown period, I've been seeing something online like challenge. I challenge you to post this. TikTok, Netflix. Yeah, Netflix. I told someone yesterday. I was like, on me, I learned how to do this. What's it called? Hand sanitizer myself on YouTube. this and that. You know, I had to combine everything together to be able to make an answer that like how many just through YouTube. You guys are doing challenge on TikTok, Thriller and the rest. You have to stay safe and save your family. So I believe you going online to do more of challenge, TikTok, Netflix. Definitely, you don't have to waste all your time there. Just have some limited time on those particular social media, and come back to the main deal. You have to learn something from this lockdown period, not just start doing challenge.
You see, that's very
profound.
Profound, and you know, I've got to have him here for another 15 minutes. So let's do this now. Are you able, haven't garnered enough of this knowledge? Okay, are you able to transfer the same knowledge to people via the same internet usage? Online, I mean.
Okay. We had the plan for doing that before the lockdown and EB concept. We had Uncle AB, we had the plan for doing that, you know, online. Before the online, we are trying to go on campus store on a topic. Can you remember the topic?
Yes, the relevance of the camera, and the importance of the camera and the importance of being at home using it.
And tag with start with what you have.
Yeah.
That was the main tag. Start with what you have.
So everybody has something.
Yes. Going to cinematography or photography, you have a phone, a smartphone, and now we have smartphone editors, not PC. Just use your phone, take some pictures, get the angles. You are good to go. So start with what you have, not just waiting to get the big stuff.
Wait, Chris. I need you to emphasize this.
Okay, sir.
Okay, it's important for youth to understand that if you are looking for the right things, they are available.
Yeah.
Right, Mr. James?
Yeah.
The right things are always available. You just need to look for them.
Exactly.
And if, with so many distractions that's currently happening, this challenge and that challenge and X, Y, Z and everything, it takes you further from relevance. It takes you further from the things that you can see that will make you, be relevant when this is all over. So Mr. Chris has said something. Start with what you have, which means everybody has something.
We have something.
We have data and we have a smartphone.
We have something to start with. We have something.
Okay, a youth has become inspired by you, listening to you now, and he's saying, okay, I would like him to tell me what are the steps I can take. Okay, you are now the cinematographer, the official cinematographer for Victor AD. Now that didn't happen overnight.
No.
You had to toil. You had to work. You had to be consistent. You had to be patient. You had to, like you said, do a lot of freebies.
Yeah, sure.
Now people don't understand the power of freebies. Like it gets you noticed.
Yeah.
Okay. Eventually you will start getting paid for it.
Yeah.
Like people ask me, Dr. Nusa, why do you keep doing this program? And I tell them I keep doing it because a time will come, it will pay. You understand? Not because for the money, but eventually what you sow grows and you will reap from it.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
Chris,
Sure.
now, a youth listening to you have said, I'm inspired by this guy. I do have a smartphone. I do have data.
And I like cinematography.
And I like cinematography.
Okay.
I like pictures.
Okay.
I like videos.
Okay.
I like to play with stuff. I'm creative. How do they start?
First thing is self-discipline. Self-discipline.
Wow.
Then
You guys talking about the right things today.
dedicate your time.
Self-discipline.
Self-discipline.
Talk about self-discipline for a minute.
Okay, thank you. First thing, you know what you are going for, and you know where you are coming from. Rather, you can't just say, "I want to become a photographer today." Then tomorrow something else distracts you away. Like, guy, what's up now? See, again, what you like show you. Make I lose out on my legacy. I'm going to run out. You don't lose your self focus. Yeah, self focus. So you have to discipline yourself. That's the first step. Then create time, because
allow me. You started from the right place,
Okay.
and this is where most people
Miss it.
they miss it.
Okay.
They might be enthusiastic about it today, and because it's not paying the way they want it today, next thing is they're not interested in it.
Maybe it's not even about paying.
They see the next
It's
step.
just distraction. The next thing is
maybe
this one's in
scheme.
vogue. Yes, a Ponzi scheme.
That
you
kind
know,
of
it
stuff.
gives you money. Once you put your 20K now, by next weekend you have already gotten 100K. I like it. The money would have used to go and do something else. Just go and put it, and everything say is lost.
And that's it.
So self-discipline.
Yeah.
Stick to it. Stay there.
Yeah.
No matter how long and no matter what happens, stick to it. Secondly, you said
I've some contact like mentorship. Look for somebody you want to be like. I want to be like maybe Clarence, because then I was like, I want to be like Clarence Peters. You know, I love Clarence Peters. I used to watch his video back to back. Then I was creating something like him. Then you know, like, so for me, self-discipline and mentorship. So that's second. And let me say, the third, use what you have. Then my slogan was use what you have to get what you want. Whatever. Like, that word is just too raw. You can't say use what you have to get. In my own view, not your own view. I'm using what I have to get what I want, not what you want. Is what I want. You get. So that was my own idea. Then discipline, mentorship, and use what you have at that particular time to get what you want.
Okay. Now, there are a lot of, as Dr. Lusa rightly said, there are a lot of young persons who are listening right now. Some of them have passion for cinematography and photography. Now, there was someone I saw on Instagram. He's a big time influencer now. So the very first shot that he did was of a hotel that he did with his phone. Okay, he took it at a particular angle. The sun was setting, and he saw the tree was just right at the angle 90 with the sun, like just putting the perfect light. And he just, for personal, he just took it and shared it on Instagram. And there were a lot of likes. In fact, that picture was like the highest like he has ever gotten. It was like, I just shared something, and I was like, oh, okay. It's like people used to like
this kind of pictures, you know.
So he started taking organizations, you know, coffee shops, and you know, putting them up, and now he's a big time influencer for Yacht, those who billionaires who build Yacht. So he's a big time billionaire influencer for them. So what I'm saying is this: there are some that are yet to find out if they really have this
passion for it.
Yes,
okay,
for cinematography. Yes. How do they really know that? I think yes, this my kind of this. How do they know?
It's very easy.
Because you started with working with sound and
production.
Yes, eventually
it's very easy. Like I said,
okay.
I had the passion. Then, like I was in love with visuals. So, like most people love doing, love creating storyline, you know, creative content for movies and the rest. You know, if you have the passion, if you love what you do, you definitely know. If it's not working for you, you definitely know. But if you are like forced to do it,
so if it's not working for me, that means I have to look into it again, either rethink my decision or forge ahead with a new idea.
There was something that I did graphics designing.
Okay.
You know, graphics design. I was in graphics designing.
This guy is.
I was like, oh, this is not too much.
So hold on. You did graphics. Yeah. Did you go to a graphics school?
No, not at all.
It seems everything you
online.
YouTube, and yet people are using this thing to download nonsense. Some are now addicted to pornography, you know, because they have data on their phone, you know. And I don't know. It's just knowing where to look, know what you want, and know how to chase it.
You seem to have an eye for talent. Okay? You seem to have an eye for talent.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do something. Okay. I want everybody to follow Chris. Okay, I'm going to give out your IG, okay, your Instagram and your Facebook.
Right.
Okay, and I'm going to do something kind of crazy. Everyone who can do a 20-second video, or you can take a picture of a particular shot of an angle or anything, okay, I would want them to tag you or send it to you.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Follow him.
And then share this with him and tag you.
Yeah.
Now, why do I want to do this? I want to work with you on something.
Okay.
If I know that we have not gotten AD's Victor AD's consent for this, but if we can get such persons to showcase in any way, shape, or form what they are capable of doing. Maybe you can choose the best content you see. You can include it into something that you want to do. Then making them, encouraging them to start something personally for themselves. Because do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand completely.
I get your point. And I would like to say something. Before now, we focus on cinematography and photography. You can do other things, not just cinematography, photography, or production. You can do other things you have passion for. You can get videos from YouTube. You can get everything online. I learned how to make puff puff. I'm not a kitchen boy. I don't. I don't like cooking, but I like puff puff. Then and also I like smoothie. Smoothie, yeah. So I run those things online. So you can get your lessons. You don't have to. Okay, fine. You have to go to some class for master class, to have this. But the basics, know the basics first before do anything. That's it.
Wow.
Not just cinematography or photography. You can even plait your own or cut your hair yourself.
Yeah, I was showing Abraham a friend today who did. The guy is good. He's just this itchy finger. He does everything himself. Everything, he cut his hair. It was so cute.
It's possible.
So what I want everybody to take away from this, okay, I'm going to take a break in a minute. But what I want everybody to take away from this is this: you have everything you need online.
Yes.
It's possible to have access to any information that you're looking for now.
Yes.
Okay, and if there's ever been a time to take advantage of information that's been disseminated all over, is now. Like you can actually do whatever now. Okay, even conventional schooling is becoming a challenge because of the internet. Because of the internet, conventional sitting down in a class is becoming a challenge. Soon, yeah.
Because one time I was like, I want to be an aeronautic engineer, I want to be a pilot. Then I went to the school, aviation school, we went there, and they said, the tuition fee is 10 million, but you can pay instrumentally 5 million. I was like, fine, we'll come back to you guys to negotiate.
You ran away.
I don't look back. I changed view. I said, it's not safe, straight to Auchi Polytechnic, Then me and while staying together, me and Avi, we were staying together for some time. He also have this idea on social media stuff. He's the kitchen guy. Most times he goes online to get one to prepare one or two, and also he gives idea on, because most times I don't have this concept of say, Abi, what's up? Please give me idea on what to do. We say fine, give me 5 minutes. Then he guys go online, come back with some ideas. So he's a cool guy. Uncle AB, not AB Concept, Uncle AB.
Okay, I'm going to come to AB Concept because if you follow me on social media, you would see things that AB is not new to the program. Like a lot of you for a long time would have heard him at different times come up. We've talked about now. I'm surrounded with people who are gifted in different areas, and I want young people to take advantage of their brain, how quick they are in processing things. Now, Christopher, IG, people can follow you now, or they can follow you on IG?
You can follow me on IG now.
Yeah, they can follow you right
sure,
now.
yeah.
Okay, every young person, okay, I want you to go to IG now. Okay, the reason why this might end up being something very big. Okay, when I start things small like this, they usually build. Now, if you're looking for a guy who you can ask questions, how are you doing this? These are my ideas. Being someone who has been through the road, okay, they can be able to. Christopher can sit in a place now as a mentor and share his own personal ideas with you. AB Concept, Uncle AB, like they call him now. I didn't know they started calling him Uncle AB. Yeah, he can share with you things on. He can share with you on things like developing ideas and pursuing and things like that. Now, so I want you to follow, Ira Christopher on IG. All right, I want you to follow him on IG, and I want you to follow him on Facebook. Okay, it's Q, the letter Q, capital letter Q, _ extra. Now the extra is not EX, it's just the XTRA. Okay, Q _ XTRA. So it's Q extra. All right. And then on Facebook, I want you to follow him on IG. All right. And I'm going to develop this plan or this challenge or whatever we choose to call it with him. All right. And then on Facebook, okay, look for him is Ire. That is AIRE. Okay, AIRE Q extra. Okay. Now it's Q without the underscore, just Q XTRA and Chris. CHRIS. All right. If you search for him, Ire Extra Chris on Facebook, you'd see him, add him up, and then on IG is Q _ extra. I want to develop something with him where everyone with an idea, everyone with a video, everyone with whatever, a picture, your own personal picture, not something you downloaded of, something you'd
go out or indoor.
Yes, you can go out, take a picture, and then you can upload and then tag him, and then we will see which, I'm really working. I want to work with him to now have a platform online where people can learn these things. All right. Yeah. The knowledge that he has gotten, okay, he can also pass it on. All right. IG, that is on Instagram, is Q Extra, and on Facebook is Ire Extra. Q Extra. Please say it so that I don't. Yeah.
On IG, Q _ extra, like XTRA. While on Facebook, Ire AIRE Q extra. Chris.
Okay. I'm going to take a break. It's just coming up on the 7 o'clock hour. I'm going to take a break, and then I'm going to have the phone lines open. I want to talk to young people. Okay. Maybe you might have a question, or you want to onboard him. All right. This is your platform. Dr. Nusa is here. Mr. Jim is here, and of course, I'm going to hold him down till I'm probably done. Okay. This is Dr. Nusa. Program is Unbodied Live Show. Stick with us. Coming back in just a few.
Unburden your fears.
Isn't it amazing how life is one thing and then in an instant it becomes something else?
Unburden your sorrows.
How am I supposed to decide this?
Unburden your troubles.
Someone just talk to me, please, just help me. And
I'll be the one if you want me to. When you feel downcast and rejected, and you have something on your mind, you need someone to confide in. Unburden it all with Dr. Nusa.
say something, I'm giving
Nosa on KUFM, Sundays from 6 to 8 p.m. Stay.
Say something.
Hi, my name is Dr. Nosa, the host of Onboarding, the live show. I'm going to need your support to keep the show going. If you would love to help us stay on air, please call this number 080-5847-5402. You can issue a check in favor of Onboarding, that is spelled UNBURDEN, or pay into the UBA account. The account number is 101-945-0121. Thank you very much. Welcome back. The program is still Onboarding, the live show with Dr. Nosa. Yes, this is Dr. Nosa speaking, and we want to say thank you to Ahere Ofure Egogo, who have sent us 1,000 naira. I'm very grateful. Ahere Ofure Egogo. God bless you. We're up to 50,000, Jim. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ofure. God bless you and thank you. All right. A lot of people are asking me on Facebook, on Instagram, and on WhatsApp, and some of them are saying, I'm going to open the phone lines, people. All right. Someone says, okay, I want to say a very big good evening to Brother Promise in RCCG Bolton. I hear you're listening. I very thank you so much. I'm missing you guys. Brother Promise, God bless you. Somebody's asking me, so what about parents? Parents, what should they learn? Because the show, they say, it seems to be focusing on just...
But that's a nice question. That's a nice question because, you know, most of these parents, they are like office...
9 to 5.
Yeah. You know, most times they don't even have time for their kids. You just go to work, you come back. I think now you can go online. I can't tell you what to learn, but if you have anything in mind, like anything you love, you have in mind, just use your social media, your YouTube, go to Instagram or Facebook, search for that thing you want to. If it's cream, right now, most kids are into organic cream, you know, organic cream. Rivon. I saw a post the other day, like we don't get corona now. We are our biochemistry students with the test results. Should they for the give us test now, but now they say online. You know, no offense, but parents can go online and learn to, you know, make some wig or this organic cream, because I think it's moving fast for the ladies. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Jim. You know, I shared with you a joke. You know, someone said that they've washed their hands so much that they've washed their hands so much during this period that the expo they wrote in their hands 2007 have resurfaced. All right, the phone lines are open in case you want to call in. It's Onboarding Live Show with Dr. Nosa, 07062639275, 09039394427 and 0812-178-9154. All of these numbers are open and dedicated to all right. Onazi is listening and is letting me know that parents can learn to cook new recipes. That is true.
Yeah.
Just go on to Facebook and say, learn how to make pastitio. It's a Greek dish, pastitio. It will tell you, and you can learn how to make it. Okay. Let's go to the phone lines. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
A very good evening to you. Welcome. What's your name and where you calling from?
My name is Julius. I'm calling from Benin.
I didn't get your name.
Julius. I'm calling from Benin.
Okay. Tell your child to stay away from you. The shout is very loud.
It's already away.
All right, Julius. Welcome on the show. What can I do for you?
Yeah, the young man there talking since I think I really admire him.
Thank you.
I admire him a lot because these days now we find our youth doing so many things that are not of comfort. And what he's saying that most of the things he knows how to do, he got them from the internet. I think I summarize that, like you said, sir, I really want to know about this young man, and also let me use the word partnering with him to introduce more people. Like the platform you said that you are going to create. I think I will so much love it. I would love to partner with him and bring in more young people and have more ideas.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you very much. I'm surrounded with, I'm telling you, I'm surrounded with very smart people. Uncle Abi, like they call him, they shouldn't be calling him Uncle Abi where I am. All right. I know that this might be, publicity-ish, but it sounds very weird because this is like my son here. So when you say Uncle Abi, what should they now call me? Grandpa knows. I don't get. Anyways, he is the personal assistant, of course, to Victor Abi, and is the also executive assistant to Longitude Promotion. I'm going to give out his IG. Whatever I'm going to be doing with Chris and AB Concept, I want to have a platform where young people can express themselves. You can be better than Yahoo. You can be better than Ponzi. You can be better than stealing somebody else's money. Okay? I don't think Chris has to look over his back when he's walking around in town. Like, if you hear, wow, 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 and you're like, you're dashing into, Jim, go to the other room. Go to the other room. You need to go to the other room now. So my police siren, my police, you are saying you look like a dog. It is well. All right. Okay. So do you actually, Mrs. Jim, you need to come take your husband to the other room. So do you look over your back, like, look over your shoulder when, you see the police or something is happening,
Not at all. I can't even count how many times police have stopped me, hey, you stop there, where are you going to? Officer, good evening, how are you? How are you fresh? Officer, I'm not fresh with your beard. Beard gang, no, come now, do one small thing. So I don't understand, do you anything? Give me your phone. Normally, if you argue with them, they'll take the next steps. Just be yourself. Officer, take my phone, because and I know there's nothing on my phone. Take my phone. Go through my phone. Who are you? Yeah, Curtis out. See your phone. You have a head. There was one time, it's Victor's picture. The one is on his AP album. He wore black jacket, black beret, black jeans. So I see this guy now. You wear black, and now your whole person. I say, officer, you don't know who this man. He say, I know, yeah, give me some more thing.
Now what I'm trying to say is, so you're not like scared and
I move at night, so I'm not scared.
Okay.
The last time I was going out, I was with my ID card, my NYC ID card. I passed out recently, so I was. The one was like NYC ID card. Now they say they threatening us. Oh God, leave your ID card. Give me your phone. I was like, sir, I'll be federal government picking though.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good evening, Dr. Nasa.
Good evening to you. Good evening. What's your name?
I'm Ufoma.
Mrs. Kigo. I know your voice. How are you?
Ufoma. Are you serious? You're calling from Lagos.
Yes, sir.
You're doing well. It's okay.
I'm doing well.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Where is Mr. Kigo?
Mr. Kigo is busy so what did that guy call it? Okay, everybody's getting to learn on Instagram. Everybody's getting to learn on social media. And so it's really great. So especially when I'm doing that, studying online too. So everybody's learning.
That's true. Everybody has to learn. You have to stay relevant these days.
Exactly. I'm learning to cook many soups online.
Give me an example of one of them you're learning to cook.
I've learned to cook more of this Yoruba soup called. It's vegetable soup actually, but the efforiro. Yes, that's it.
You are learning to make efforiro.
Yes, I've learned how to make efforiro, and I learned online.
Wow. So people, you can actually take advantage of the information that's out there. It's so good to hear from you, Ufoma. Ufoma, it is now on air. You are calling me.
They say we should do social distancing.
God is watching you.
We're doing social distancing.
Our Father in heaven is watching you.
Yes, only Him can watch over me right now.
It is well. Same words in Liliana.
All right.
Have a beautiful evening, Ufoma. All right. Now, the phone lines are open, people. Don't say Dr. Nusa didn't open the phone lines today. The phone lines are open. 070. There are 3 lines. 070-6263-9275, 09039394427, and 0812-178-9154. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, sir.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Anthony. I'm calling from Benin.
Welcome, Mr. Anthony. God bless you. Yeah, let's hear you.
Yes, what I want to say is concerning what God has been saying on the studio. Although mine is a little bit different. I want to beg to know how to print recharge card.
You want to learn how to print recharge card?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm going to get that information now.
You can get it online.
You can get it online. Yeah. Just go online. Google how to.
Yes.
And then you can get it. It's right there. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Dr. Nusa.
A very good evening to you. What's your name and where are you calling from, sir?
My name is James from Obawa.
I didn't get the name.
James.
Mr. James.
Yeah.
Welcome on the show, sir. Let's hear you.
Okay, will they listen?
Okay. If you meet a girl for the first time and she likes to you, so what essence does it? And I believe that it's like to me. Is it good to carry on the discussion? Because I hate when somebody's like to person. My spirit cannot accept it. So I need that advice from the part of it.
She lied to you.
The first time.
Yes.
The first time.
And that's the first time I met her.
Oh, not that she has been with you before.
No.
How did you now know she was lying?
No, when I was asking her for her contact, she said she didn't have phone. And I have been seeing often carrying her phone at home. When I asked her, I said it's her mommy's phone. But I didn't believe it. Because if it's our money food, you can't be carrying it every day.
Mr. James.
Yes.
What do you want from this lady?
I want to talk to her for relationship.
Okay. Now, so because she told you that she doesn't have a phone, if she's trying to see how serious you are, you have just failed.
Okay.
It's not like you're already with her and then she's not lying to you. Do you have a phone? No, I don't have a phone. She's telling you, she's maybe giving you signals that she's not right now interested in you. You cannot now say she lied. Do you know if the phone is her mommy's phone?
I didn't know.
Exactly. Okay, she didn't lie. All right, Mr. James. Somebody said lie about what? That's what somebody asked me. They said lie about what?
About the phone.
Lie about the phone. But the phone. Look, James. This is simple. Okay, the lady obviously is not interested in.
It's obvious.
He's not interested in the guy. So why you? Okay, now Barrister Lovett sent me. I told you at the beginning of the show that Barrister Lovett, a learned friend of mine, sent me some very important websites. What you can do, all right, at this time, all right. Anybody who wants to get the information, because I don't want to give it out on air, okay. If you want to follow up, I have gone through the link. I have seen all of them. They are all free online courses. All right, they are free online courses you can do. All right, 10 to 20 hours per week. Okay, 12 weeks long. There are different online courses that you can do. So what I want to do, I don't want to give it out on air. Okay, I want you to ask me to add you up on WhatsApp. Okay, what you need to do is send me a WhatsApp message on 080-5847-5402. All of you that already have me on that platform, you can ask me to send you the link. All right, they are courses you can do online. They are free online courses. They're absolutely free. All right, so I will send you the link. Just add me up, send me a message. Okay, I need to know who I'm talking to, so you will need to tell me your full name. All right, and then I can send you the link. All right, thank you very much, Barrister Lovett. All right, hello, good evening. This is Dr. Nusa. What's your name? Please call back. Your line is bad. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Hello, good evening. Okay. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
Engineer Uche is my name, sir.
Engineer Uche?
Sir.
Engineer Uche. Eri Agbata.
Area Baba.
Well, what's the name of Yering Road?
Baba. You are making me feel so good now.
Where is the name of Yering Road? The mic in Canada, Moto.
Dr. James, bring me out now, please.
Mr. Uche, Engineer Uche, you are alone on this one, no. Because he has been turning ranking squares.
Okay, go ahead, Engineer Uche.
The stay-at-home order. I think a lot of allegiance is being tested right now concerning the kingdom of God being to church. It's being tested right now. Now you actually know who talking about the kingdom of God. And again, there are a lot of lessons to learn. Myself, I've been able to settle down, learn new things, learn how to take care of even kids. You know, when you work from one, you run to another one. It's something that has not happened for a very long time. But this is at home order. We have got a lot of lessons to everyone. And the promise of God, a lot of lessons, especially today being Sunday. Your allegiance to God, your loyalty to God is tested.
Thank you very much, Engineer Uche. All right, the program is still on Board in the Live Show with Dr. Nusa. It's 7:23. How time flies when you're having fun. That's what they say. Last week we were trying to get the program to finish, but today
it's running faster.
All right, 0812-178-9155. I want to take in as much calls as I can before I will wrap it up with him. Hello, good evening. Good evening. What? Your line is bad. Please call me back. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. My name is Adebayo, calling from Benin.
Mr. Adebayo, welcome on the show. Yeah, go ahead.
What I mean is that I named this producer's name because I'm an artist too. So I made the producer's number because I want to meet him direct. One-on-one. I want to meet him.
Okay, you need to follow him on IG. That's what you need to do. Follow him on IG, and then if there's you can talk with him, and then if there's a need, he can pick it up from there.
Okay, so how can? But I did not get the LB number.
Yeah.
We have the LB.
Okay, the IG
Instagram
is Instagram. So
Googling
the IG. Okay, Instagram. Excuse me, Jim. Excuse me, Jim.
IG. Which one is IG?
Jim. You know what you said just now. You are still that probation. All right, Instagram, folks. Okay, it's Q_extra. All right, I'm going to give it out again before we leave now. All right, somebody sent me and said there are free sites for learning foreign languages. Now, this person sent this message when I asked the question, what can parents do?
Okay.
And the person sent a message that there are free sites for foreign languages. Just go online, you would see how to learn foreign languages. So parents and children can bond while learning new languages. Okay, parents and children can bond. Like, you know, I can teach some people Greek. You know, like, you know, it's interesting. Okay, it's very interesting. So it is really cool. So make sure that you go out there. People cannot be calling me right now. Super cool. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
What's your name?
This is Joy.
Okay, Joy, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir. So I want to answer a question. There's what somebody told me in our church.
Okay.
I don't know if I should tell my pastor about it, because in my church, my pastor normally give her offering money to pay. So she told me that the prophet said to her that the offering money that our pastor normally gives to her to pay, that the offering money is hindering her as in her finances. So she told me, and when she was saying it, I said, okay. So I asked her, I said, what did she say about it? So she's saying about it, that's the reason she's no longer keeping the money. So the thing has been bothering me. I don't know if I should tell my pastor about it or I should keep it to myself. That's the reason.
Okay, question. Is she doing anything with the offering money other than listen, Joy. Whatever, if it's a true church, okay, whatever monies anybody take to the church, okay, has become sacred. You understand? I don't know who this friend of yours is, but whatever monies people, I have personally seen people who have suffered a lot from doing this because the monies have become sacred. So if the prophet is telling her this, then she probably needs to check herself. Like, okay, because if you do something as minute as say, oh, let me borrow the money first, let me do something. When I finish, when I get the money, I will put it back. Okay, those are being very, very insensitive, and that can bring, of course, trouble to you. Yeah. So your friend should ask herself serious questions, okay? And then when she's done, she can tell the pastor, I don't want to keep the money anymore. The pastor should find another place to be keeping the money. All right? Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
My wife.
Good evening.
My wife. Good evening. How are you?
I'm okay. Mr. Timothy coming from Sapele Road.
Mr. Timothy from Sapele Road, welcome.
Yes, I have been listening to the program. I say, God bless you, this one.
My wife is just home.
Hello?
I can hear you.
There is something I want to still talk on that. According to the program since I've been listening to, there is this guy, I don't normally talk to the girl, but the guy was one kind like that. But I love the girl, but I have already told the girl I supposed to have, but now the thing has not worked. So now, just what I need now is advice. What can I do now?
What's your advice on what? Hello. Call me back. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Jim, be careful. Be very careful.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. What's your name and where you calling from?
My name is Mr. Sazua.
Mr. Sazua, what part of Benin are you calling from?
From the Oredo local government.
You are calling from the whole Oredo local government. Okay, welcome on the show, Mr. Sazua.
Okay. I'm into the video editing and I'm also a graphic designer, and I've already carved up my studio name. So I just want a little assist from you and the body. All I just want is I just need the patronage for now, so that I can be able to gather myself, so I can be able to accomplish what I want to accomplish. And also I need, I'm into jingles, online jingles.
Hold on. Say, my friend, I don't want you to be slick with me. Okay? Now, the question is this. You heard Mr. Christopher talking about freebies. Are you willing to do things for people, at least not collecting money?
Yes.
Well, you break down when you said so. My name is Dr. Nusa, and this is Onboarding the Live Show. All right. Mr. Sazua, okay, you heard, listen, I'm not trying to trivialize anything anybody's saying on the show. If you listened to Christopher when he started, anybody who listened to him would have gotten the steps to being consistent in what they are doing. All right? Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, sir.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
I am Adekule Igwisi Igberame.
Okay.
Hello.
Mr. Igberame, welcome on the show.
I'm calling from Upper Sukumba.
Okay. I hope Upper Sukumba is cool this evening.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's hear you. Go ahead.
I really appreciate your good work for every 6 years now. I've been listening to your program and I've been recording your work. And I've always
This is for you. You are a chair there.
Yes, thank you, sir. Since now, February 2014, I've been taking record of everything. I told you 2 years ago about what Jane and other people are doing. I only gave you a record, but I could not get the WhatsApp number. Nobody had me to the WhatsApp group, so that I can send them the program, the one I record and all that. But I couldn't get anybody to record everything and to take to accept me.
Did you send a WhatsApp message?
Sir?
Did you send a WhatsApp message?
Okay. I try to send the message to the WhatsApp, but nobody's accepting it.
No. It's not something they need to accept. If you send a WhatsApp message, I will see it. So send the WhatsApp message to the number. Did you hear me give the number?
The number I gave to me before, they said that it's not valid anymore. That is what I heard.
I've always used one number, 08058475402.
Okay. But you please, after I need the call, you call the number again so I can save it, please, sir.
Thank you very much. I will call the number again. Mr. Igberame, 08058475402. Hello, good evening.
Hello, sir.
Good evening. What's your name?
My name is Elizabeth. I'm calling from the
Lisa, how are you?
I'm fine. You know, it's Elizabeth, not Lisa.
Lisa is from Elizabeth. Okay, go on.
All right. Actually a first-time caller.
Okay, everybody say welcome, Elizabeth.
Welcome, Elizabeth.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Concerning this show, about talent, of cinematography.
Yes.
Although some youth out there, they don't take out time, to use their data or meaningful stuff. And with teenagers, you know that we are not working class. So, speaking of money to buy stuff, at least I think 1K or up to 1.5, it's not that easy to get since we are not working. So, how do we go about it?
Okay, how do you go about getting 1.5 to solve?
Yes,
1.5 to solve?
Yes, no, we are not working, yes.
Okay, now that's a good question. Okay, but here's the thing. If you grow up with this mentality, you would have problems. Instead, look for ways. Ask yourself, what can I do? What can I do legitimately to get 1,500 as a youth? And if you check around your environment, there are things you can do. If you tell somebody, can I come clean your compound? Can I come sweep? Can I come clear the lawn or clear the grass? Can I come do this? And you pay, and wash your dishes, wash your bathroom. I watched a program of a billionaire who wanted to prove that he can start a business with just $100 he's a billionaire. He's got his own yacht, he's got his own private jet, and then he wanted to prove that he can start a business with $100. He left his comfortable place and went to somewhere else in the US where nobody knew him, and that $100 included the money he would spend on accommodation. And as wealthy as he was, all he had was an old raggedy truck. He drove around in this truck. A billionaire, he slept in his truck for days because he didn't want to waste the $100 on accommodation. So he started to look for scrap metal to sell. He eventually went around the town looking for scrap metal. Long story short, he said he wanted to start a business in 90 days that is worth $1 million with $100. And he said if in 90 days he's not able to start the business that worth $1 million, he would put his own $1 million on the business. Do you understand? Like, he went somewhere else with $100 and said in 90 days he would start a business that is worth $1 million when it is evaluated. Okay. If at the end of the evaluation it is not worth $1 million, he will put $1 million of his own money to it. Okay. You understand? Okay. And he started this business. Now, I was so intrigued. At the time, he had to get ads for people who wanted to wash their toilets. He went to their house, scrubbed their toilets, and got paid $80. Now, this is a billionaire. He got paid $80. And see the excitement in his face when he made $80, looking for scraps to sell. And then he eventually went, when he made enough money, he went to sell little things in town, made enough money, like $200-300, okay? Now bought a car that was being auctioned, and then he went and did little work, washed it, and then sold it off. He made like $800 on the car, and then he eventually bought a house, okay? At the end of the day, he got enough money, got a loan to buy a house, did the remodeling of the house, and then sold it off. He got eventually about $20,000-30,000, and then he started the business he wanted to do. Worked with, like small business places. He just developed the thing, and at the end of the day, 90 days, on day 90, when they evaluated the business and everything, it was worth $850,000. Now, along the way, everyone he met that were part of his journey, at the end of the 90 days, he made them part owners of the business, gave them equity, and when he revealed who he was, people were like, what? You understand? Now, at the end of 90 days, he brought $1 million of his money and put it on that money. So at the end of 90 days, that business was worth 1.850. Now, what intrigued me is we often say we don't have much. We often say we don't have enough. Okay, that's what everybody is saying. Okay, but this was a guy who took this amount, went somewhere. I would show you. I would show it to you. I know you are interested in things like this. He went somewhere and followed this, and I wrote a lot of principles down because he was giving principles as he was teaching, what you should do, what you can't do, what you should, you understand. So why did I bring all of this? You can't say you don't have. The first thing we usually say as people is we don't have.
That's why I said start with
what you have. Everybody has got something. Okay, now look at the lady who just called. You know, Edmond, if you go to your area and say, I want to clean, can I clean your compound? And you pay me, I'm trying to raise money. Even if the person wouldn't want you to do it, the fact that they are seeing you being legit, okay, they would rather pay you that money to get the job done than to give it for free. We need to get off this mentality of freebies. Everybody just wants things done for them. Everybody wants to get quick things. Nobody wants to work for it. Nobody wants to the dignity of labor, we've thrown it out of the window. Everybody's just like quick, and it's affecting the way we process things. You understand? Yes.
Talking about doing things for free. Within the week, I met 3 guys. They walked by our house. My grandma was sitting outside and saw them carrying a sack. And they asked her, you go buy snail? She was shocked. Like, all these big boys, they asked me that I go buy snail. So she told them to bring it. When they brought it, they poured it on the floor, on the bowl rather. After pouring it on the bowl, and she asked them, why not they go they look for snail? Then the other one said, as the lock cost down, they lock all the shop. Yeah, they go they look for small thing. One saying a mechanic. Then now we say we'll go inside bush, go look for snail to sell. And he said, what do you want to use the money to do? He said, our phone spoil. We'll not defeat the call anybody, we'll not fit the reach anybody. Now the only means we'll fit repair the phone. So it's just getting a means to get things done. So they have to make things done, so they have to go inside the bush to look for snail.
It is possible to get things done. People, it is possible. Don't sit down. Okay, to the young girl that called me just now, I think, I don't know, it's Elizabeth. I can't remember. The young girl that called me. Yeah, please, don't just sit and look for 1,005 to solve. Now, people, if you solve, what are you going to do? Make sure, okay, push yourself to the limit. Hello, the time is 7:41.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. This is Ehi.
Hello, Ehi.
Yes, sir.
Let's hear you.
I'm calling from Benin. Yes.
Go ahead. Let's hear you.
I have 2 things. So I need to ask something. First of all, I met someone, and I was not married. So the person said before we can move further, I want me to give him my ex-husband's number, so he will know what happened, to get his own side of the story. So I said, let me take advice from here.
You should give the number.
Okay, so if you should give him your ex number.
Yeah, that need an advice.
Okay, hold on. Were you married to this person?
Yes, my ex-husband. Yeah.
Okay, so your husband, the person who is coming for you now, wants to get the number to your ex to ask what?
To hear his own side of the story. That was what he said.
To hear his own side of the story.
Of what happened between us.
Now, he may want to know. Okay, he may want to know, but that's a little extreme. Okay. Yes. You told him what happened, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, do you feel comfortable with him having your ex's number to talk to him?
I don't feel comfortable with it.
Okay. So, no, I don't think that is a good idea. I don't think that is a good idea. You've told him sometimes when we hear people say things, it might affect our perception of people. So if he wants to build a relationship with you, then let him concentrate on building a relationship with you. What happened with your ex it's not something that you want to drag into this relationship and then put yourself in a difficult position. Because if you talk to your ex and then your ex says, oh, this is what happened, because nobody is going to say the story to make themselves look bad. They're always going to say the story to make you look bad, especially when they now see that you are interested in, this person is interested in you. So if they are trying to, be to pay back, if they are trying to be vindictive, if they are trying to take out their vengeance, they might want to eventually spoil what you're trying to build. So you've told him what happened. Okay, you have told him what happened. If he's not willing to take your testimony, then hello?
I'm here.
Okay. How long have you been dating this guy? Hello?
Just met. Not talking so much.
You just met and he wants to talk to your ex?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell the guy to move ahead. It's not serious.
Okay.
All right. Bring somebody in the live show. You just met 2 months. I think you should have put yourself to.
It's too early, and there are other ways. Of finding out any information that he wants to find out.
Mr. Jim, they just met.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Even if they've dated for 6 months, for 8 months, he doesn't need to ask directly. It's too blunt, and it's fishy.
Hello, good evening. Please step away from your radio.
Okay, I've done that.
What's your name?
My name is Richard from Benin.
Richard from Benin?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Richard, welcome on the show. Let's hear you. You've got 20 seconds.
Yeah, I've been enjoying your program for a very long time now. This is the first time I'm calling. I called because of the lady that just dropped your call.
No, Mr. Richard, I don't allow callers to call. Yes.
Okay, no problem. Because I was surprised, you as a pastor, listening to that woman say she has left her husband and she wants to marry another person when the husband is still alive. I'm a Christian, and I don't think our Christian faith allows that. Thank you.
Mr. Richard, if you're listening to me, she has already done what she wants to do. She didn't call to ask me about if she should divorce or not. Come on, don't get me into jump. No. Okay, my job here is not to be to tell who's doing right or who's doing wrong. Okay, I'm not. If she calls me to say, Dr. Nusa, should I divorce? Now that's a whole different conversation. She asked me, you know what? I'm not even, All right. Okay, so the program is Onboarding, the live show with Dr. Nusa, and we have had a very interesting conversation with 2 very young men, very, very interesting young men in the studio. And if I've taken anything away from this program tonight, listening to Christopher and listening to AB Concept, is that everybody has something. It's important to understand that everybody has something. And youths, this is a good time to update. This is a good time to upgrade. Okay? Don't sit down hoping that the lockdown will not extend more than a month or more than 2 months or more than a week or more than 2 weeks. Okay? So you can get back to your hustle, quote and unquote. But this is a time where you can have access to gigantic, enormous information on the web. And we can see someone who has made himself better, Christopher, who's made himself better learning, equipping himself with life lessons, okay, that's now making him important. Okay, if you were to have, okay, let me give you an example. Just for figure's sake, all right? Someone was to bring you to cover their wedding now, okay, based on who you are now, okay? Someone was to bring you to cover their wedding and do all the, how you said it, the story and everything. What would you charge?
Basically, I give budgets. We have the good budget, silver budget, and the low budget. You said, now what you probably should go do, should you get So for the gold budget, we charge from 350. The silver budget we start from 250.
No. I wanted you to say the figure because I wanted people to hear. Now, you've equipped yourself personally. It's not like you sat in a master class and learned this. You had access to basic information. You used those information, made yourself better, and now you are out there making money from it.
Sure.
Okay.
It wasn't easy.
No, we're not talking about being easy.
Yeah.
Okay. If it was easy, everybody would do it.
That's right.
Okay, that's what we're trying to say here. It's not you know, we give people the impression that things are easy. But it's not easy. You have to keep at it. You have to keep at it. Like you have to be consistent. When you fall down, you get up. Meet new people, engage people. Don't be proud. It's important to talk about why you shouldn't be proud. On your way up, you can't be proud. Everybody from a day to those who are important, those who are not important, the ones you deem important, the ones you don't deem important, everybody on your way up is relevant. By the time you have arrived where you're going to, okay, you want to feel pompous, you want to be big, you want to be whatever, you can do that. But on your way up, understand that you've got to be dirty. You've got to be humble. Be ready to learn from even little kids. So, Mr. Chris, I am very excited to have you. And again, let's do this. I want to create, I don't want to call it a challenge. A challenge is too common for me now.
Okay.
I want to create a platform where people can follow you.
Okay.
Okay. I've already added you up.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is, like, if you get this content, okay, you can tag me. All of you who follow me on Instagram, okay, you can follow AB Concept on Instagram. That is Uncle AB. Is very simple. Underscore. Uncle AB underscore. The Uncle UNCLEAB underscore. Okay, on Instagram. All right. And then when you follow on Instagram, you'll be able to see you'll be able to see Q Extra. All right, you'll be able to see Q Extra, and then you can follow him, and then we will begin to look at the videos and the informations and the things that you send. All right. Let me take one or two more calls and we'll wrap it up for the evening. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. What's your name? All right, please call back. Two more calls and I'll wrap it up for the evening. The network is not so good on my phone. All right, I wanted to. All right. Yeah, Mr. Jim.
Yes. Before we call it a day, I would want our guests to leave the people with, a final word, a food for thought, something that they'll be thinking about for the next few weeks, few months.
Okay. Food for thought. First thing first, ask yourself, I trust myself. You get like, you trust yourself. Can you do this? Can I do this? What are the steps? What are the disadvantages and disadvantages? You get, so just believe yourself and believe grace works. Grace works. Like, you can start today, tomorrow. That is jackpot. Anything can happen. So what I met AB in our cheap authentic through his what's it called, fitness. Then I was campaigning for SUG, that also shows DOS. Up to now the election they're not do. So he said to me, it was like, are you sure you want to go into this campaign stuff? Are you sure? Okay, if you are trying to go, you are too soft for this now. You get BS. You can't go for just go for something like own one or find sake. I said, no, bro, I want to be social because I like being social. You get, so that was I met AB Concept. You have to trying to grind, do all, also go into decoration and events. everything. So believe in yourself first, and just believe grace works. That's it.
Believe in yourself. Believe grace works. AB concept. What would you leave the people with as we leave?
Never forget the process.
Okay.
Always trust the process. A lot of people, they don't want to go through the process. They just want to be on top. So they should be able to understand the process and go with the process, because it's only the process that you'll be able to tell about the testimony when you get there. It can't be here. Nobody can be here talking about how they made it up here without being through the process.
True.
So it's only through the process you can say about how you learned this, how you learned this, how you went here.
So stay in the process.
Yes.
Allow the process you. Oh, I'm talking some serious thing, Jim. Yeah. You feel it in my... me, I fell down. No, it's no joke. It's no joke. No, allow the process you. You can't double up on the process. You can't be quicker. Let it take its time. You understand? Like, I think I need to write that down and print a shirt. Allow the process you. Okay, God told the children of Israel, okay, I'm going to put you through 40 years so I can process you and see what's in your heart. You understand? And not until the process is done processing you, you won't hit it.
Yeah.
You will not hit it. So don't be quicker. Don't try to maneuver, shortcut, short pay, do all of this. You can't. Yes, you will have some difficulties, Jim. Sometimes you will owe people. You will be messed up. But it's all in the process.
Yeah.
You stick to it. Just stick there. Stay in there. You can't give up, because if you give up, my grind, AB, is this: if you give up now, all of this would have been a waste.
True.
So stick in there, run it, let it finish. When you hit it, when you are digging this, you are drilling, Mr. Jim, you are drilling the hole. You are drilling, and you can't give up. You might just be 10 feet to hitting the oil. And if you give up, you would never know. Keep at it until you finish it. Mr. Christopher has shown us, AB Concept has shown us that, these are people who have known AB since he was born, like AB's family, okay? And one thing with the young man is he has been tenacious. He's not giving up. He will push himself and do whatever needs to be done, which is an attitude or a mindset I appreciate in a young man. Young people, it's out there for you. You can get it. But don't wait to just, meet some, genie in the box and you rub it, and then some magical, gigantic, comes out and says, tell me, make 3 wishes. And then those are just, it never happens like that. I wish it does happen like that. Okay? You go out and grind. Do you understand? Go out and grind. Go out and work. Beg if you have to. Okay? Do free stuff if you have to. Rub the ground if you have to. Get. Some people say, you are doing too much. Why you put yourself in? Guy, pursue it. Go after it. Get it. When you do, when the time comes, you might be the photographer or the cinematographer of the next big thing.
Sure.
Okay? When he became friends with Victor Edi, when Abraham became friends with Victor Edi, all in the same school, nobody will think why Victor Edi was pursuing his grind. The young man was grinding his grind. So, at the end of the day, the tomatoes is now smooth. The stew is coming out really nice.
Don't
blame. The stew is now. No. It's the truth. Young men, don't choose the quick way. The quick way will often get you to the difficult path. The Bible says, food stolen is sweet, but in the end, it turns to granite. Okay, so guys, young men, go to the internet, find something. Let's end the show like this. Take up your phone rather than look at pornographic content all night. And in the morning, your data is finished. You are not going to go and sub a new one. Or be chatting with somebody who has no bearing with your life whatsoever. You chat all night, you won't sleep. Then throughout the day, you'll be sleeping like people, something else. Or rather than just go to the internet and ask. Even if you ask Google, what can I do today? It will tell you something. It will give you things to do. Be relevant. Some people will come out, Mr. Jim, some people will come out of this lockdown, isolation, whatever we choose to call it, better. Some will come out depressed
broken,
because they're going to see where those who were inside left them. Okay, so don't sit down. You have a ton of information. This generation is probably the most privileged of any generation ever. Okay, we had to read tons and tons and tons of books. You know, have you seen Mentor Box? There's a guy, Mentor Box. You can read a book, a complete book.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, now it's easy. $7 a month. Yeah. You have access to unmeasurable number of, books. Yes. You know, so this generation is like the most fortunate and most blessed. All right, my name is Dr. Nusa, and my time tells me I've got a few more seconds on the show. You can follow me on Twitter. Okay, you can follow me on IG, Instagram, doc_Nosa. It's very simple. DOC_NOSA. All right, on IG. Yes. You can follow me _.Nosa. All right, it's _.Nosa. All right, good. Sorry, not underscore. Forgive me. Doc.Nosa. DOC. Not underscore. Guys, I'm sorry about that. Forgive me. I've been talking too much, and it's James' fault. Okay, so it's DOC.Nosa. All right. If you follow me on there, you would see everything that's going on, and I'm going to post all of the pictures that Mr. Christopher took. He took some great shots of me in the studio, feeling myself, so he took some really nice pictures. I'm going to post all of them onto IG. He'll post it onto his IG. We'll post them onto Uncle AB's IG. Mr. Jim, thank you very much for always coming out. This is going to pay someday.
Amen.
So, and thank you, everyone. Mrs. Jim, thank you for loving us the way you do. Nkem, you're like my everything. I love you. All right, cool. That's all.
I agree with you.
Shut up.
He's Nkem.
I need to teach him Greek.
Okay. Us.
Okay. That's all for this evening. We don't leave here too without praying, so please join us. Put off your mic. Father, we thank you for the blessings we've received. Thank you for Christopher. Thank you for Abraham, AB Concept. Lord, I thank you for they have become examples to others. I pray you only take them higher, Lord, until they reach out to youth in their numbers, in hundreds, in thousands, and even in millions. You set them, Lord, in places where they too, Lord, can pass on this information, knowledge, and blessings to all those around. Thank you for Jim. Thank you for everything you're doing, Lord. I thank you for this platform. I thank you for KUFM. I thank you for everything. Take the glory. In Jesus' name, amen. Please be safe. Stay at home until we are told we can come out. Stay at home and enjoy the time. Do something new. Do something great. My name is Dr. Nusa. I'll see you next week if Jesus tarries. Have a good week. Bye-bye. Hi, my name is Dr. Nusa, the host of Onboarding, the live show. I'm going to need your support to keep the show going. If you would love to help us stay on air, please call this number 080-5847-5 5402. You can issue a check in favor of Unburden, that is spelled UNBURDEN, or pay into the UBA account. The account number is 101-945-0121. Thank you very much.
All the programs on KU 92.7 are now open for sponsorship and advert placements. For sponsorship and advert placements, call now for inquiries 070-380-50243 or 080-8877-3644 or visit KUFM Marketing Office located at the top floor of the Enterprise Foundation Building, number 62, Ihama Road, Benin City, Edo State. 92.7 KUFM is your business growth partner.
If you wait, now we go. Again, you go where in the coronavirus, you go last Nigeria now. In the die coronavirus now, take China, okay, or see me at a fever, or see where or your tea, in the done at pneumonia or TV like me, or always you, where there Mohaye, you know that way, I don't know what good up where our table now. We got football back again, no, I give a quick football. Who are you bog me way, Uno, water away, or Watini, and like Motone, only Hana to tie Agapa, we got the Pone and Nimudia. Yes, from our bog every moment they did again. I don't back book where if I know without gay, I got Siku Kumupa, or when I were up the other one had the key. So Paka in a lucky way, Uku, a beauty fuel. Take it, I never mad there. We are getting a good year. Who are the whistling? Out here, Luwayana 080-840-96723, Ra 006-425-8163. We get Panyawari in here, a Patakino, when you run that way, Adoba when you don't get your way. Get way in your market here, will be Adoba will tell you, or Munyanaya will adjust.
We start your day from the break of dawn till midnight.
Like that wasn't clingy enough.
We went online and now you can listen to us via our website anywhere in the world.
Okay, stalker alert.
We told you to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, like our page on Facebook, and even add us upon WhatsApp.
Okay, this is definitely creepy.
Really? Well, guess what? We are now in your devices. KU 92.7 Radio is now officially an app for your smartphones, gadgets, and many devices.